In the heart of the African plains, nestled between rolling hills and whispering rivers, lay the village of Kwetu. The people of Kwetu were known for their storytelling, passing wisdom and history from tongue to ear under the golden light of the setting sun. Their stories were born from joy and sorrow, from struggle and triumph. And one such story begins with a man named Balozi, a widower with 2 children, who sought peace after the storm of loss. Balozi was a respected hunter, known for his sharp aim and his even sharper sense of justice. His wife, Amahal, had died 5 seasons ago during childbirth, leaving behind a son, Jabari, who was now 6, and a daughter, Nia, who was 12. Nia had taken on much responsibility for her age, cooking, cleaning, even comforting Jabari during the nights when he cried for a mother he never knew. Balozi loved his children dearly, but the demands of hunting and trading pulled him away more often than he liked. As time passed, the elders advised Balozi to remarry. A house cannot stand with one wall, they said. The children need a mother, and you need a companion. After much hesitation, Balozi agreed. He married a woman named Zahara from the neighboring village of Mbali. Zahara was beautiful, with skin the color of tamarind bark and eyes that shimmered like river stones. She arrived with smiles and gifts, winning over the villagers with ease. But Nia watched her with cautious eyes. Something in Zahara's smile never reached her heart. At first, Zahara was kind. She brought sweets from her village and taught Nia how to braid intricate patterns into hair. She sang lullabies to Jabari and seemed eager to be part of the family. But as the moons passed, her mask began to crack. Slowly, her sweetness turned sour. When Balozi left for long hunting trips, Zahara changed. She began giving Nia endless chores, scrubbing the floors, fetching water from the far-off well, and tending to Zahara's personal needs. "You are a woman now," she would say sharply. "A real woman works without complaint." Jabari, too young to understand everything, sensed the shift but didn't know what to say. Zahara was cruel in quiet ways. She would withhold food if Nia didn't, finish her chores on time, or pretend to fall ill so that Balozi would scold the children for disturbing her rest. When Balozi returned home, Zahara wore her kindness like a brightly colored kitten, bold and deceptive. The villagers still saw her as a doting wife and mother. Nia tried to speak to her father once. She waited until dusk when he returned from the forest, dust and sweat coating his face. "Baba," she said softly, "Zahara." But before she could finish, Zahara stepped out with a bowl of stew and a warm smile. "Nia is working so hard," she said sweetly. "But she misses her mother. Sometimes she imagines things." Balozi looked at his daughter, then at his wife. He sighed and said nothing. Nia's heart burned. She knew her stepmother was hiding behind masks, but no one seemed to see through them. Only the river listened. Every night, Nia would sit by the riverbank with Jabari, telling him stories their mother once told her. The river became her sanctuary, a silent friend who mirrored her tears with ripples. One evening, while fetching water, Nia overheard Zahara speaking with a stranger near the edge of the forest. She stayed hidden in the tall grass and listened. The man was from Mbali, and he handed Zahara a small pouch filled with herbs and powders. "It must work," Zahara hissed. "He cannot leave me. These children must fear me." "It will," the man replied. "But remember, the river hears all." Nia's blood ran cold. Zahara was using dark magic juju. She raced home, heart pounding and locked. The memory away. She couldn't tell her father. He would never believe her. But she began watching Zahara more closely. A few days later, Jabari fell ill. His skin burned with fever and he shivered even in the midday heat. Zahara insisted he was just tired, but Nia remembered the pouch. She searched Zahara's room and found it tucked beneath a loose floorboard. Inside were roots, teeth, and something that looked like dried blood. Nia knew she had to act. She went to the village healer, Mama Sefu, an old woman who spoke to spirits and read signs and bird calls. Nia showed her the pouch. Mama Sefu's face darkened. "This is a binding spell," she whispered, "used to control minds and hearts. Your stepmother is not what she seems." Nia explained everything. Mama Sefu nodded gravely. "The truth must be shown. Ah, but it cannot come from you. It must come from the spirits. Tomorrow night, bring your brother to the river. We will call them." That night, Nia did not sleep. When the moon was high, she carried Jabari, now weak but conscious, to the river. Mama Sefu was already there. Surrounded by herbs and carvings, she lit a fire and began to chant. The river stirred. Mist rose from its surface and the wind hushed as if listening. Images began to form in the mist. Zahara, receiving the pouch, whispering to the man standing over Jabari with a bowl of smoke. The spirits had seen all. Suddenly, Zahara appeared, drawn by some invisible pull. She saw the images and screamed, "Lies! Lies!" But the river did not lie. Mama Sefu threw herbs into the flames, and Zahara dropped to her knees, wailing. Her mask had been torn away. The next morning, the village gathered. Balozi arrived, confused and tired. He saw his daughter, his son, and Zahara, trembling before the elder and the healer. The truth was told. Balozi fell to his knees. "My children, forgive me. I was blind." Zahara was banished from Kwetu, never to return. Peace returned slowly, like the first rain after drought. Jabari's health improved. Nia was no longer just a daughter. She became a young woman of wisdom and strength. Balozi began to rely on her more, and together they rebuilt what Zahara had tried to destroy. The river, their silent witness, flowed gently beside them. And each night, under the stars, Nia would tell Jabari stories. But now, she also told the story of the woman who wore beauty like a mask, and the girl who unmasked her with courage. In the village of Kwetu, this story is still told beneath the baobab trees, reminding all who listen that love is not just in words or gifts, but in truth, and that sometimes the river carries the loudest voice of all.